What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another review. Today's review is going to be on the Marvel Legends Target exclusive Astonishing Ant-Man. So as you can see, this again, like always, is going to be the windowless packaging. We do get a promo pic of the figure itself, as well as some character artwork in the back, which looks really sweet. I'm not even gonna lie. You can see the kind of growing and shrinking, or I guess the growing effect that he does. And then on the side, I believe you get that same artwork. Yep. This one again kind of showing off him growing. On the back, you do get the another promo pic of the figure itself, as well as what he comes with. And then on the side, you get another product shot of the figure itself. So with that being said, let's get into it. Alright, YouTube, so this is how the figure looks outside of the packaging. So as you can see, the figure looks really nice. I really like the shade of silver that they used for the helmet itself. Looks really nice. It isn't just a gray, so you can definitely tell. And as well as the head sculpt looks really good. I saw, I've seen reviews of this, and I gotta say that the reviews definitely doesn't do it justice. In person, it looks really dope. One thing that I did notice on mine, at least out of the packaging, is you can see this right leg is kind of warped a little bit. That's the one thing that I did notice, is that these legs, the bottom portion of the legs feel very flimsy, so that's something to definitely keep in mind of. But ultimately, these look really nice. I like the more updated articulated body, and I'll show you the other Ant-Man in just a moment towards the end of the video. But he looks really nice. He moves really well. He's a little bit more muscular than I would have probably pictured Ant-Man, but not to say that that's not completely accurate or not, but definitely when I think of Hank Pym, I don't really think of someone who's necessarily super muscular, right? I envision a more kind of slender dude, but nonetheless, looks really dope. It's nice to get an updated classic Ant-Man outfit. So you do see the butterfly joints that work really well. He has the up and down, goes to a T, bicep swivel. He does have double jointed elbows. And then you do get the vertical hinge. And then same thing on the other side too, but this one's a fist. And one thing I did notice just now is that he actually does have pins. Which leads me to think that this is an older style body. I want to say this is the original retro Spidey body mold. I'm not completely sure, but the thing that makes me feel that way is the legs itself. This reminds me of that first retro Spidey that we got. But he does get, but he also does have ab crunch, which works really nice. He does have waist swivel. His legs go up. And then they do go out. Really nice. And then he has the bicep swivel. He has the thigh swivel, which works really nice. Very nice thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. And then boot swivel as well. And then one thing that I also noticed on mine is that if you can see this one, there's a big gap right in between this boot and the leg compared to this side. This one sits flush. This one, not so much. So I'm not sure if this is, most likely this is probably just an issue with mine itself, but that's definitely something to also keep note of. He does have the ankle up and down, as well as the pivot. So all in all, I want to say that he moves really well. It's just these damn legs that make me feel like, I don't know, they make me feel like this thing is gonna break. So I would be very careful. I don't remember if the original retro Spidey had those kind of issues, but yeah, there's something about these knees that just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. And again, I can't speak for all of the ones, but at least for mine itself, I don't really like that it feels that way. And then the ankle, the thigh swivel on this leg feels much more looser. Yeah, so just certain things to keep in mind of. And then for the accessories itself, he does come with the open left hand to go with that hand. And then he does have a right fisted hand too to go with that one. So all in all, not bad. Lacking in accessories, I think is a general consensus, especially this being a Target exclusive. It would be nice to be able to have gotten a unmasked Hank Pym head sculpt. That would have been really sweet, or some additional accessories to say the very least. Especially it's kind of like a slap in the face that we got the reveal of the West Coast Avengers Amazon box set, and that 5-pack came with an unmasked Hank Pym. So it's kind of like, wow, you couldn't have just gave it to us, but yeah, it is what it is. It's still nice to have an updated Ant-Man, to say the least. So let me break out my previous one. Alright, so these are how the two Ant-Men stand side by side. As you can see, there's a lot of similarities in terms of the costumes itself. One thing that I will say that they did better on this time is on the helmet itself. I never like these antennas. I just felt like these ones were very flimsy, and I was always worried about them breaking, especially when you kind of put them in storage, or if you have them in like a plastic bag or whatever the case may be, Ziploc bag. This one looks a lot better, but I will say in terms of the body itself, I want to say this feels more like I don't know. I mean, this is just me going off what I think. I feel like this kind of reminds me a little bit more of Hank Pym than this one does. Again, this one just a little bit more muscular than I would envision Ant-Man being. But it's just these damn legs. So I'm not a fan of that. I don't like the way it looks. You can see it kind of bows out just when you're trying to get him to stand. So I am honestly not a fan of that at all. So with that being said, I personally would recommend the Target exclusive Ant-Man if you can find it. Ultimately, if you could do like, maybe you could do a head swap. So I was able to pop on the newer head sculpt on the previous Ant-Man, and as you can see, it looks really nice. This one actually it pops on there really well. I will say that the head looks a little bit big compared to the body. But I mean, damn, if this didn't look like a helmet, then this definitely does. And then with this one, I was not able to pop it on. It just doesn't click onto the head sculpt, or the peg itself. But nonetheless, I probably would just switch it anyways. But just in case you guys were curious, let me know what you guys think. Ultimately, I do recommend the Target exclusive Ant-Man. Just keep in mind the kind of flaws that I mentioned, such as the kind of loose left boot, as well as the loose kind of knee joints. So, but nonetheless, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you can find it, pick it up. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Peace.